What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, guys, we're going to be discussing the Lindsey Graham situation. He was an American senator. Some may call him a patriot. Some may not like him. He's not very popular in the conservative movement. He's very hated by the liberals, but he hasn't really been popular in the conservative movement. I really haven't even met a conservative who was a big fan of Lindsey Graham's. I'm not a big fan of Lindsey Graham, but I'm very sorry for his loss. I'm not a big Lindsey Graham person. I never really liked him, never really cared about him, but I am very sorry for his loss. And we're going to be discussing the implications and things like that in this video. So before I even get deep into this video, make sure you know right now, drop a like on this video, subscribe to my channel, because I don't just talk about politics. I go out to my daily life and just live life to the fullest, because that's all you can do. Because Lindsey Graham did not know he wasn't going to wake up Sunday morning. He passed away Saturday night into Sunday, and he didn't know that he was going to wake up dead. I actually did not find out until just yesterday of his passing, because I never knew of the man, and I heard about it on social media. So, whether you like my opinion or not, you don't have to agree with me or anything I say in this video, but you have to respect me. You can't be giving anyone death threats or anything over this opinion. This is some I say is fact, some I say is opinion based. But whatever it is, please respect my opinion over this. Thank you. So I'll begin of the protests that happened in Tehran, Iran, a little while ago, and there was a bunch of Iranian protesters, and these weren't just, these are not all of Iranian people. So don't attack Iranian people, because not all of them were involved in these protests. Some of them were actually forced to, because their government will, their government is not free. They will attack you. Women are not even allowed to sing in public. Women are not even allowed to go in public without a man. And, they have very, very strict things over there. You can't, there's no freedom of speech over there or nothing. So, they had protesting signs of multiple different people with targets on their head, and Trump was one of them. Lindsey Graham was one of them, and it's not a coincidence that Lindsey Graham went over to visit, Zelensky over in Ukraine, and he came back and somehow fallen sick in his office, put out a statement saying that he died of an unexpected illness Saturday night into Sunday and was found dead. So, what happened, well, if it was a sleeper agent, Iranian sleeper agent, or something along those lines, it came to a spot where it comes to a time where we have to take something seriously, okay? The Iranian sleeper cell threat that was made, months ago, is still a serious threat, okay? Which is why I refuse to go into large crowds. I still will refuse to go in large crowds. I still refuse to go into places where, that it's public. Like, I'll go into small towns. I'll go to even, towns, with the population of like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. But I will try my best to stay out of major cities. Because the Iranian sleeper cell threat is a legitimate concern, especially if it's lone wolf threats. But as we've seen with Lindsey Graham, that these people are not messing around, okay? That if it was a terrorist or anything like that, These people are not messing around. And this is the part where I'm saying factual, that these protests did happen. You can look them up. You can verify that they did happen. There's pictures of literal protests, of people having targets on their back, of, like, you know, Trump was one of them that has a target on their back, and the Secret Service is putting it down. The Secret Service is putting boot to rear, and they are protecting the president at all costs. As what just happened with Lindsey Graham, it shows you that not a single politician on the left or right, regardless of how popular they are among the people, that they are not safe. I am not putting this out to fearmonger, but I am putting this out because you need to stay safe. Protect your family. Keep a gun with you at all times. Keep some sort of weapon with you at all times. Do not go out of your house without a weapon or something on you, or your cell phone or something like that. Okay, please stay safe, because we are living in unprecedented times right now. Will these times pass? Absolutely. But what just happened with Lindsey Graham is a wake-up call to every American people, all American people, whether you're pro-Trump, anti-Trump, you know, iffy on Trump, whether you're far left, far right, you know, moderate left, moderate right, you know, or even in the center. Okay, whatever political party you align in, it doesn't matter. Because when our country is under attack, it is a time where both parties need to unite like that. And we have seen so much division in the country in recent years. While we are divided, we are not as divided as the media wants you to think it is, because the media is not the media is an enemy to the people. But when protesters of nations like Iran, that are sponsors of terrorism and has been a threat for decades, or at least a decade, so more, that they have been building up, and for 50 plus years since the Iranian revolution that took place in Iran, that Iran used to be one of our biggest allies. They used to be one of our biggest allies. They were one of our biggest friends, and they have been on our side with multiple wars. You know, our enemies are in the Middle East. Majority of our enemies that are actually normally a concern for us are all in the Middle East. Sure, we have enemies like North Korea and China, which are actually very unlikely to launch an attack on us. And while they are threats, they are not nearly as threats or as a concern to us than our enemies in the Middle East, which has been for decades. You know, the Gulf Wars, the Gulf War, the, wars in 2000s, the 9/11 attacks of 2001 were all done by, Islamic terrorists. And it's just a way to put it. You can't just put it anywhere else. You can't just say, oh, America did this, America did that. You cannot justify a terrorist attack that killed so many innocent people on a thing of the government. You cannot be treating human life like it is something to discard. It doesn't matter. What happened to Lindsey Graham is something that should be waking up everybody. Regardless if you like him, dislike him. I have never been a big fan of Lindsey Graham, but I'm not going to sit here and mock his death and make fun of it, because I don't do that. I don't do what the left has done to Charlie Kirk. I don't do what the left has done to Trump shooting back in 2023. I don't do none of that. I don't do that. I don't mock people's death. I do not do that crap. I said multiple prayers when Joe Biden was, was, diagnosed with cancer, I said multiple prayers for him. I was able to come to the table and be like, hey, I hope he gets better. But I can sit here and pray with those who disagree with. I can sit and eat dinner with those who I disagree with. I can eat dinner at the same table with people I disagree with. Me and my grandparents share differing political views. I am pro-Trump. My grandparents are anti-Trump. I am anti-gun laws and strict gun restrictions. My grandparents are for that. I am anti-communism and socialism. My grandparents are also anti-communism and socialism. My grandparents, especially my grandma is actually old school liberal. That means she also believes in you guys know what a liberal in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s would believe. They're not like today's liberals that have became, so radicalized. But the point still stands. If we cannot fellowship with people who we disagree with, then what kind of person are you? Okay? I never liked Lindsey Graham. I think he was a warmonger. I think he was American interventionalist. I think that he was a genuinely, not a great, politician. But that doesn't mean I'm going to mock his death. That doesn't mean I'm going to do anything like that. In closing, I want to say this. Do not let disagreement cloud your judgment. Do not let disagreement be a reason why you stop caring about your family. Thank you.